Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bull Central, doing a game video for you today. This is a Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. I'm doing like a 2026 review of this because actually this game entered into early release in 2023, and it finally launched its 1.0 final version, quote unquote, in May of last year. I finally just got around to playing it on the PS5. Frankly, because it was on sale and I was sort of waiting for it to do that. I really like this game, man. Obviously, the comparisons to Elder Scrolls are going to abound just because it is very Elder Scroll-y. There's no denying that. There's no denying that Questline, the developer here, took inspiration from Elder Scrolls, the best of the Elder Scrolls, and why not? Elder Scrolls is a fantastic series, obviously. You know, it kind of reminds me of another game that came out last year, Avowed, all right? The thing about Avowed is that people made a big deal about how it was Elder Scrolls-like, and I probably made too big of a deal out of it too, because it is Elder Scrolls-like, but I think it was kind of trying to achieve something straight up new with that. And as a game, I liked that one too. It was a pretty cool game. The thing about Tainted Grail, however, is that it's a little bit lower budget, it's a little bit more indie in nature. For instance, it's based on a Polish tabletop game that was kickstarted back in 2018. It's not even based on like a property that was, you know, picked up by some major corporate investor or like that had some kind of professional representation. It's a Kickstarter franchise for a tabletop game, and they've made a couple games based off of it now. But this is the cool 70-hour first-person, again, fantasy RPG. It does some pretty good stuff here, okay? And again, it has the template of Elder Scrolls, but it doesn't stay with the template of Elder Scrolls, at least not quite as slavishly as I've seen other reviewers and other gaming people talk about online. First of all, the story is grimmer. They call it grimdark type fantasy. It's about King Arthur and Camelot and Avalon. It takes like a twisted dark fantasy version of the standard King Arthur thing, where Arthur and his knights came to Avalon to actually conquer it and to stop something called the Red Death and these kind of giant forebearer beings that we never see, but you actually see their weapons and their armor, and sometimes even pieces of them kind of scattered throughout the world. Just these massive pillars of swords and things, and you get something major happened here at some point. And the quest line is pretty cool, actually, because you never really know if you're supposed to trust Arthur, who happens to be a kind of a soul, a disembodied soul attached to you. That happens early on in the game. He kind of, you're recovering pieces of his armor, and in so doing, including Excalibur, obviously, and in so doing, you're reassembling his memories, and you start to realize, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be trusting this Arthur guy. He was kind of power mad, right?
Camelot. It's only a model. Shh.
Apart from that, though, what's I really appreciate about the game is the mechanics. It is fast and fluid, a little bit faster even than Skyrim, but that's not really a surprise since that's it's a 13-year-old video game at this point. 13 years old? 15-year-old video game. Wow. It also has some extra stuff that there isn't in Elder Scrolls. For instance, I love the summoning stuff, which is not an Elder Scrolls thing, summoning skeletal armies and things like that. The magic is cool, the weapons are cool, the loot is especially very cool. You will just find some really cool stuff, really cool armor, really cool jewelry, all sorts of bonuses and status effects. And unlike Skyrim, which is level based, this is based on actual attributes, sort of like a character sheet in like D&D or something, tabletop, right? And so you can't actually use a piece of armor to its fullest unless you have, say, so much endurance and so much strength. You can use it to a certain point. You can use it, but its effect will be slightly nullified or majorly nullified. And I like that because it just encourages you to really explore. I understand there's like 200 side missions in this thing, and the campaign itself, the main storyline, should last you 15 to 20 hours. It was more like 15 for me, but I blitz. Guilty as charged. There are some stability stability issues even now on PS5. I had the game crash twice, back to the PS5 home screen. I also had a lot of screen tearing issues, and it'll lock in at 60 frames a second at low resolution or 30 frames a second at high resolution. And there is also VSync enabling, which is nice because it screen tears like a bitch. It really does. It's a little hard to watch sometimes when you're kind of whipping around and you can't. It's like the bottom half of you goes somewhere and the top half of you stays for just a moment. But you know what? Apart from that, I really love the aesthetic. I think that's what it is. And to tell you the truth, I don't know what's up with Bethesda, but they need to release that new Elder Scrolls 6 because I'm dying here. I'm dying on my feet. I'm desperate for an Elder Scrolls game, and this fits the bill nicely because it really does. It feels like it feels more like Oblivion in some ways than Skyrim, even, because the graphics are a little bit outdated-ish. The scenery looks really beautiful. The scenery is nice, but the character models are kind of plasticky and simplistic. It does kind of look like an old Bethesda game. I was hoping that Avowed would scratch the itch, the old Elder Scrolls itch, but it kind of didn't, because it was a little bit different. It wasn't exactly as Elder Scrolls this as I was hoping, but this is, and it's good. It's decent. If you like something like a thing, if you like derivative things, or if you're looking for an Elder Scrolls experience, that's fantastic. It's here. This really will scratch that itch for you. It's a deep game. It's a long game. You can really sink your teeth into it. But if you want something new, if you're looking for something adventuresome and attractive and modern and out of bounds and wildly creative, it's not here. This is not something that you're going to know every beat of this, at least from a gameplay point of view, because I did find the story to be somewhat innovative and fascinating. And like I said, it's grimmer, it's darker, whereas Elder Scrolls is always kind of Tamriel is just basically a standard fantasy environment, but this, with the kind of King Arthurisms and the darkness of the tone of the story and the fact that just kind of all sorts of wicked things happen. There's like a lot of wicked monsters and creatures that you can get good loot off of too. It's pretty cool. So I am going to give this game an 8 out of 10. I think it's very well deserved, even with all the stability issues. Yeah, crashing back to home screen and losing my progress was a bummer, and it did happen twice, but I'm willing to overlook that, frankly, because I needed this. I needed something to dip into and really just kind of exhaust my action first-person fantasy RPG. I'm just a man. And I do have needs, and one of those needs is to hack and to slash and to sling some magic, and frankly to create some bone army dudes out of nowhere so they can hack and slash for me. So that's it, everybody. That is Avalon. Sorry, Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, and yeah, I think you should check it out. If you get a chance, it's worth it to me. If you're an Elder Scrolls fan, do me a favor, everybody, like and subscribe. And if you have to be a knight of the Round Table, I would recommend Galahad and not Lancelot. All right, because Lancelot, you know what? There's something about that guy I don't like. He's very gallant and dashing, but watch your wives. That's all I'm gonna say. Bye, everybody.